I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
I'm recording. And we're going.
Damn it. I was trying to see how long I could last. Not say anything.
And we're doing the game talk.
And we're in. And we're going.
It's
finally
happening. Get going.
Let's go, guys. Welcome, Maps and Mittens. I almost said Geeks and Gamers. I'm so used to hosting my own podcast.
Maybe some
welcome,
crossover.
Maps and Mittens. Not Geeks and No. If you're a Geek and Gamer, get the fuck out. Go to my show. Welcome to the show. We're here in the month of August. My birth month, Teddy's birth month. Spencer exists also. And it is a special month because I get to choose what we're doing this month. And it is All Map August Rush Edition. All Map August returns. It was a popular by me. It was popular with me. The segment that we did in the past where we did All Map August, and I wanted to bring it back, and we're gonna do it today. And this is the game talk. I'm excited. This is the only non-map out episode we're gonna do this month. So sit back, relax, get a nice jug of Mountain Dew and a big old bag of Doritos. Get ready to have a heart attack as we plow through this month. Before we start, though, we have this year we've been playing a little game where we trade off monthly duties. Who gets to pick each month? And we do that by how, Teddy?
Why none other than everybody's favorite game show, The Wheel of Names.
Names. So we have a fresh wheel. This is our final wheel of the year, guys. After this wheel, after we complete these next 3 turns of the wheel, and we don't have time for another full turn, so we'll have to start again next year.
We'll have to see if the wheel makes a big comeback. Will it return?
Maybe. You guys have your months ready to go?
I actually at one point did have a month, and I have no idea what I was gonna pick for today's.
So if it lands on
no.
Spencer,
I literally, while you guys are talking, I'm like, what was it?
Well, let's hope it doesn't pick Spencer.
Otherwise, you get to see him deliberate it live. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, Teddy, you ready to do this?
Sure. All right. On your count, Alex, I will press tap.
All right. 3.
Oh, wait a
2.
second. So just before you announce it, yellow is me, blue is Spencer, red is Alex. I know you might not see the names here.
All right.
Okay,
3, 2, 1, go.
God.
That's rigged. It's rigged. Teddy's won the first round each fucking time.
We gotta use somebody else's phone.
I was praying not for me, and there you go. Congratulations,
it's
Teddy.
me.
Congratulations, Teddy.
I think you'll be happy, Spencer. But before I announce it, Alex, are you ready for and Spencer, are you ready for the quote-unquote longer game? It's around 20 hours.
Sure.
All right, I want to welcome everyone for September to Final Fantasy month. We will be mapping out Final Fantasy 2.
Great game.
Awesome. I don't necessarily have any great episodes aligned other than the Final Fantasy Game Talk and the Final Fantasy 2 map out, but I was thinking maybe we could do a versus match, and maybe there's a community question in there somewhere. I don't know. And maybe
ranking sexy Final Fantasy enemies.
Maybe the title of Final Question Master is up for grabs.
Final question,
Oh.
Master?
Yeah.
Who are you, Donald Trump? What does that mean?
You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
Okay.
Terry was the first, but will he be the final? Big month, big things ahead.
Cool. Awesome. Great. Can't wait to do Final Fantasy month. Totally not going to talk about Kingdom Hearts. And I'm ready to go with all map August. Before we do start the episode, though, and get into the questions, something special about this month is that we had 4 Saturdays to fill map outs with. So the 3 of us, we each picked a map out. We can go over those in a second. And there's also, for the 4th one, it's actually being picked by you, the community. We have a poll up on the channel right now. The poll is going to end on August 15th. I need you to go over to the community tab on the Button Mappers channel and vote for which one of those 3 games you would like to see as our final map out of this month. The choices were Metroid Zero Mission, Kirby's Dream Land 2, and Aladdin, right? So head on over there and tell us which one of those games you want to see us do for the last map out. Don't tell us here. You put in the comments, we're going to ignore it. We'll probably make fun of you next Game Talk if you do. So put it in the on the poll. Go to the polls, everybody. The other ones we're doing, we all picked. The first one is actually going to be my pick. It's going to be Sonic Rush. That'll be for next week. And then we don't have an order for the other 2, do we? Do we?
No.
I don't know
I
if
thought we were
said
gonna
it
do
on that.
the Disney game, and then the other Sonic. So we spaced out
Okay.
the Sonic content.
There we go. Space out to Sonic. so it'll be Sonic Rush, Spencer's game, which was Disney. What was it? Mickey Mouse Magical Quest.
Yeah,
that
I
it?
think so. I think so.
Mickey's Magic, the Gathering competition. And then Teddy picked Sonic 3D Blast. So that's the lineup for the month. Thank you, everybody. All map August. It's gonna be a blast. A lot of
I'm
Sonic.
excited.
Yeah,
All
barely
right.
keep it in. All right.
Questions?
So, yeah, before we get to questions, one thing you may be questioning right now is whether you're subscribed to the Button Mappers. If that's something you're questioning, go ahead and take a look down below. Subscribe to the Button Mappers. You won't regret it.
It's the big red button. Push it.
Push the button. You know you want to. And then
Give it a like.
anything else that you want to inform the viewers about? Spencer or Alex?
We have a Discord, so hang out with us there. That's where a lot of stuff gets posted. We do community threads. We like them to go in there, and we do them often. And we may have one for Final Fantasy, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
And Terry was excited for yesterday. I just want to put that out. Terry was very excited for yesterday at the time of this recording. We still don't know why.
In our Discord.
Oh. No, that was in our Discord.
It is in our Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Still unclear why he was excited.
But we'll determine that at some point. But yeah, no, and then we do have, if you only like listening, we have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbucket. So make sure you check it out there.
One day we're gonna have those Pod Bucket T-shirts. It's gonna be great, and the whole country will be united again. All right, it's time to start the questions. Who has the questions?
I have the questions. All right, so the first question comes from the current Prime Question Minister himself, BioPhoenix here. Welcome, BioPhoenix. Q. What is a game that will never get a map out?
I have the best fucking answer for this.
I already said it. It's Kingdom Hearts. I'm not getting these guys to play that for the show.
I think
it's a
on
game
that
called
vein,
Earthbound.
safe to say, Dragon Quest XI, not going to happen.
Yeah. Dude, I sold it. It's gone. I can't even play it anymore. I sold my copy.
Earthbound will never get a map out.
Why? Why not, Spencer? Come on.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Why not?
It's a question I'm asking, but
moving on. Second question, because he gets 2 questions as the prime question minister. What game has a good beach episode level?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you know the beach episode, Spencer?
do I know the beach episode?
You know, like because like you don't watch anime, so there's like always like a beach episode in anime.
Is there?
Yeah,
Where
there's
the,
always like a,
the where the 13-year-old girls go and walk around in
yeah.
their bathing suits and the guys
They go to the
pretend
beach.
not to ogle over it. I don't know. You guys go ahead. What game has a good beach episode level?
I feel like if I say the one I'm thinking, I'm gonna steal it from Teddy, but I'm scared.
Link's
I was
Awakening.
gonna say Treasure Trove. No, I was gonna say Treasure Trove Cove.
I was
from
gonna say Link's
Banjo.
Awakening. I bet Treasure Trove Cove's
Oh,
great too, but I just like waking up on the beach in Link's Awakening. Something about that's kind of metaphoric.
that's not a beach episode to me. That's a beach nightmare. If I woke up on a beach,
It's a dream.
sand in my mouth.
Link has a dream. I have slept on beaches.
I guess I'll be the only one going the Alex route on this one. I'll say Persona 4. They all go to the beach.
Hey, and it's anime. So
See, they did it. They did it.
hey, Banjo's anime. They got a Jolly Roger's wife.
Yeah,
She's wearing like the crop top.
dude, I would watch a Banjo anime.
A
Alright, moving
Banjo
on.
May.
A Banjo May.
Banjo May. That's the term for May next year. Banjo May. Banjo May.
Banjo May. Oh my god, is that when we finally do Tui?
That or the fucking GBA game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Grunty
Bathwater.
goes
Yep.
to the doctor.
Yep.
Yeah, trying
Has
to
a
take the
loose
bad. That's
tooth,
the one. That's the
yeah.
one.
Has a cavity. All right, thanks, BioPhoenix. Okay, this one comes from the cynical gaming blog Terry309. Q. Which Mick Foley gimmick best represents Alex? Mick Foley is a Long Island wrestler, known for his gimmicks, I guess, but also for taking a beating. Choices include Mankind, Dude Love, or Cactus Jack.
I like whenever he pops up at the end of the Looney Tunes shorts and he goes, "That's all, folks." He goes, "Dun, dun, 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 dun." You know that one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, sorry, that was Porky Pig. My bad.
Oh.
I often get them mixed up.
Yeah, I mean,
I would
Dude
say-
Love probably is the vibe I get. Peace, love, and
Mm,
kind of lovable big guy.
I would say 99 Mankind. He ironically didn't allow us to pick Mick Foley as a gimmick because he was Mick Foley at parts, and that was probably the most like Alex. But if we have to pick from these three, I would say Mankind in 99. So this is post his championship run, where he could barely walk, so he was just doing a lot of funny segments, and he's very funny, which is like Alex.
Oh, they say you can barely walk.
He can barely walk.
Both,
which is like
both
Alex.
are true depending on the day. Terry, this means nothing to me. I'm sick of a Porky Pig.
My favorite line from that era is he would come out with The Rock, and The Rock's thing was like he would say and the millions, and then the crowd would go and millions of The Rock's fans, and Mick Foley would come out and he'd say of the tens and tens of Mankind's fans.
Dude Love has the best theme song. Dude Love, Dude Love. That's really good. And as Mankind, I just like when the commentators clearly have nothing to say at sometimes, so they'll just be like Mankind, and that's when Mankind. Oh, Mankind takes the fall. Like it's a really funny commentary usage of his name. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, we'll stop tormenting you with wrestling. This is
I love Porky Pig.
Turbo Zone, What is your
Turbo.
favorite Turbo map out we've done? Question mark.
I feel like we've been asked this before.
Things can
Really?
change. We've done map out since.
I don't know. We're elderly men. I can't remember. I'm getting to that point too. I can't remember stuff sometimes, so I don't remember. But you know what though? But this is equating in like everything we've done this year too.
That's true. That's true. I think a while ago I would have said the Donkey Kong Country map out. That was hilarious. But I think we may have topped it with the one that nobody saw, which was Wario World. Or was it
Land.
whatever the last Wario
Land?
game we did was?
Wario Land. That one's pretty good.
Oh my god, that one is insane. I was so like disappointed people didn't really see it.
That one's got Abe Vigoda. Abe Vigoda.
That one goes literally everywhere. So like, if you haven't seen it, people watching, you need to check that one out.
That's a good. I'm gonna say nuts and bolts because we spent 15 minutes talking about Burger King, and that's one of the funniest things to me. Is that like the first 15 minutes of the episode isn't about anything. You can listen to that first 15 minutes.
Gosh, Wario Land is so good, but in the sake of picking something different, man, I liked Oddworld. I thought that was fun. And you know what? I like the Banjo-Kazooie remap. I thought that was good.
Ooh, that one's good. Yeah, that one's overlooked. Good one. No one picked Banjo Pilot. That's okay.
That's a classic. But I think Wario Land one-ups it slightly.
Digimon Racing. That's all right.
How about this year? What's your favorite map out we've done?
Ooh. Oh. I'm gonna go Halo. I just thought it was a good map. I don't know if I remember any jokes from it. I just think it was a good time talking about Halo. That game's got an awesome campaign.
Yeah, we haven't had a ton this year. Took off January. We haven't released one, so yeah, the Halo one was good. I liked the Treasure Month one, the Gunstar Heroes. That was good. I liked that one. Yeah. Oh.
I think I liked Halo as well. I think it's kind of just fun to talk about. Oh, you know what? Actually, I might go Smash.
Ooh,
64.
Smash was good.
Yeah.
Smash it's up in the air between those two for me too. Halo and Smash. Those are both really good ones.
There's the best brawl out we did all year, that's for sure.
That's the only it's the only one.
That's why.
If you'd asked about brawl outs, that would have been it.
Yeah. What's the best brawlout we've ever done? One of those one.
What's the best remap we ever did? Banjo. All right. Thanks, Turbo. Although I'm not gonna downplay Mario's Missing. That was really good too. So check it out if you missed it. It came out on Monday.
He's fucking missing. That was my favorite text.
Alex, like, guys, I need a little more time. Spencer's like, dude.
Yeah. I put the thing. I was like, hey, guys, I've been working and busy. Like, I haven't had time to play much. I mean, it's more time. And then so she just texts back, he's fucking missing.
It got like dead silent after that, like the chat. So
I didn't want to say anything because it was too fucking funny.
I was like, maybe they took it wrong. I don't know.
No. It was too perfect. I couldn't follow it up.
Oh, okay, good.
That was for Alex, so I let you two hash it out. That's how he chose to go back.
Missing.
Yeah.
All right, The Legend of Leo. Which video game location would you like to vacation to this month?
I feel like we've gotten that question too.
No, just kidding.
The beach? Yeah. You don't want to go to Antarctica with Bowser?
Yeah.
No. I saw what happened there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him my hairdryer.
No.
Mario's missing lets you go
Where
anywhere
would
in
I
the
go
world.
on like you know what though? I am gonna stick with Mario though. I'm picking Delfino Plaza, man. I'm going Al Delfino from Sunshine. That'd be a great vacation, right? You got like a little theme park. You got beach. Got those weird guys with the big nose, some fruit,
I think you got to pick one place
everything you need.
from Sunshine. Like the plaza
No,
is like its
that is one.
own.
I'll pick a level
The
Yeah.
hub.
from
The hub is
Sunshine.
island enough, isn't it?
Okay, well then yeah, then I would just pick the hub then. Either that or the theme park,
Yeah.
but probably the hub.
Since you guys took to shitting on Dragon Quest 12, I will say Porto
12?
or 11. Sorry, I've got 12 on the brain.
Spencer got an early copy.
Porto Valor from Dragon Quest 11. The beach.
I just said it's never gonna get mapped out, but hey. Well, since Final Fantasy month is coming up. No, I got nothing. This is Mario.
I was gonna say if you say Midgar, I was gonna laugh.
The town that's the first town outside of Midgar, that one.
Oh, okay. I was like, I want to go to Midgar. I want to see the oppression firsthand.
Was it called Calm?
Calm, yeah.
Was it called Calm?
Yeah. Yeah. Or what was Red 13's town name? Gungaga or something.
Gungaga.
That's where I want to go.
The
Is
mountain?
Gungaga.
Yeah.
Shoot, was
I think it was
that his?
called Gay Place.
Nah,
Gay?
I
Oh,
gotta
what
go to,
the fuck,
I
man?
gotta go to Termina in
Red
Chrono
13's
Cross.
awesome.
Oh,
Termina.
fuck yeah, Chrono Cross. Hell yeah, dude.
We're going to Termina.
Yeah, I'm going to Termina. I only know Majora. I don't know Chrono Cross, so I'm going to the boss fight in Majora.
Hang loose, bro. Anyways, all right. Majority. Back in your
Turbo.
day, what game had an interesting community or reputation around it?
Back in my day.
What's my day?
Yeah, define my day.
Yesterday.
Back in yesterday.
No, when you were a kid, growing up.
Pokemon.
Like,
Pokemon
okay.
had taken over everything, but the internet was still pretty much in its infancy. So most people didn't have it, or if they did, it wasn't like they do now. So it was the perfect storm of weird, bizarre fantasy shit to just run rampant. And literally everybody had their own rumors about Pokemon, how you could get Mew under the truck, different versions of starter Pokemon you could get, like Blastoise evolved into Rainer, I think, or something. Some weird shit like that. There was literally everything, and you had no idea what the truth was, and it was actually a lot of fun. So Pokemon was a blast pre-internet, and when I was a kid.
Hell yeah.
I
Too bad
remember
they
in
didn't
the
have-
camp too, we had the Game Boy Colors and they had the link cables and we were doing trades, and I think barely anyone had a team that was like leveled up enough to battle because it was so fresh. And you know, you're playing on the non-backlit screen, but yeah, I remember the Mew in the truck, and I remember looking that up. Like, could you do it? And even with Pokemon, it was like so cross-cultural too, because it was the video game, but also the trading cards. I remember one kid on the block had like, I don't know if he scammed somebody out of their Charizard, but he got the Charizard, and that was always a big thing, that Charizard card.
Mm-hmm.
Chrono Cross cultural. Sorry. I'm gonna go like teenage years, and I'm gonna stick with Halo, man. I mean, there's a reason why I chose it for one of the months this year, because Halo was just. I think a lot of people that are like younger now look at Halo now, and maybe they just don't get it. But man, Halo was fucking hype back. It's like, especially around like Halo 3, it was everywhere. You could not escape Halo. And it's like all my friends talked about at school. It's all we wanted to play was Halo. So yeah, I'm say Halo, man.
Halo 3 particular.
Yeah, 2 and 3 mainly. I think after that, people stopped talking about it as much.
So did you like play online with people, like on Xbox Live, like with friends?
On 3, yeah. 2, we used to just play, like local and stuff all the time. 3, we played some local too, but the 360 was easier to get up and online than like the original Xbox was back then. So the Wi-Fi capabilities and stuff. So 3 especially, yeah, I played a lot online on that one. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't remember like talking in school about it as much, but I remember connecting with a lot of friends that way. Staying up late.
Like everybody,
I never used to stay up till 2 a.m. until that.
Dude, all my friends at school were excited for Halo 3. Nobody would shut up about that fucking game coming out.
I do remember going over to my friend's house and playing through the campaign together, and that was a fun experience. I don't know if I really played anything co-op like that. For me, I think the game that had an interesting community around it, it's actually 2 games. It's Ocarina of Time, but posited next to Final Fantasy VII. Because I just remember, like, I don't remember other Zelda fans, anybody who played any of those games at that time. But I remember Final Fantasy VII fans. I remember conversationally, it was between those 2 games of which one is like the best game ever, because they were both hailed as the best game ever. And I had heard people talking about Final Fantasy VII. I had seen Final Fantasy played at a friend's house, and I was young and I was biased, and I was like, oh, I'm a Zelda fan. Like, Zelda's the best game ever. But I remember people really stuck to their decision. They like played the home team almost,
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of them. What is it?
That almost gets into like a more of like a console war at that point.
Yeah, that's
like,
definitely a console war.
Yeah. I remember some of those arguments. I got in stupid arguments though. I got in an argument with my friend who said that the Ocarina of Time link could beat the Link to the Past link, and neither of us had played the other. Like, I hadn't played Ocarina of Time at that point, and he hadn't played Link to the Past, so we were just like, "Well, my Link has a rod."
My
Like,
Link has pink hair.
yeah, it's just so stupid. But I remember those arguments. I do remember a little bit of the Zelda versus, or sorry, Link, I guess, versus Cloud kind of thing. Which is funny too, because I remember back then people like, it was more normal to be like, this character's gay, and you'd be like, yeah, but it's like now you look back and like, oh yeah, they're both gay. They're both like,
and they're both in Smash now, so you can see who'd win.
that's true. You can have your gay little battle on Smash. So
Yeah.
go.
And Banjo's there, so just play Banjo. But yeah, that was definitely a big thing, like console wars and stuff back in the day. Like, that persisted for a while. I don't know if it's really still a thing now. I think because consoles are just kind of all the same now, except for like, like you could put the Switch in like your backpack. But like, other than that, like I remember even like towards the end of my like high school experience when it was still like the 360, PS3, and the Wii. It was like, yeah, you picked sides, and man, I had the wrong side for a while, according to everybody else. Because like I had a Wii first, so it was like, hey man, what do you play, 360 or PS3? I was like, oh, I have a Wii. I was like, you might as well just fucking hang yourself then and there, because that's not a battle you want to fight.
You coil it.
That's true. I had a weapon. I could have swung the thing around.
You know what it is too, is that nowadays there really aren't strong, as in back in the day, mascots for Sony or Xbox as there were back then. So you can't really have mascot console war debates. People still say, oh, my PS5 is the best, or yeah, the Xbox is the way to go. But it's not the same as it was back then.
Phil Spencer, that's the mascot of Xbox. Can Phil Spencer the man? Yeah. That's what I think of.
Well,
where's his game?
Phil Spencer versus Doug Bowser.
Why didn't he in Smash?
Go.
I want Phil Spencer in Smash.
Petition it.
Yeah.
If they ever did like an Xbox Smash, they have to put Phil Spencer in there as a character. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Who's the
Master
the
Chief,
video
Phil
game
Spencer,
all-star
Four-star.
Smash roster?
Maybe like CEOs.
Just famous people in the industry.
Phil Spencer, Reggie Fils-Aimé, Jeff Keighley.
Mm-hmm.
Can't forget about him. He never shuts up. Cliffy B, right? Gotta put Cliffy B in there.
Hideo Kojima,
Yeah, Hideo
Shigeru
Kojima.
Miyamoto.
You never heard of him.
He did Star Fox.
Star what?
Star. God.
I don't get it. I don't. There's a lot of them. I was gonna say Suda, but Travis couldn't make it in the Smash, so I'm not even gonna. He can't make it in either.
Damn.
Get him out of here.
Who made the Napoleon Dynamite game? I think they could probably.
Probably some kid in China.
Yeah, let's put Kid in China in it.
You put Donald Labs.
Yeah. Could do it.
Okay, well that's it for
Labs.
questions. But
Oh,
leave us a question for Final Fantasy September.
yeah, leave us a Final Fantasy question, and I will totally answer them, and I will also answer anything Kingdom Hearts related. Thank you. This is the closest I'm coming.
Do not ask a Kingdom Hearts related question.
If you ask, no, this isn't your month, Spencer. It's not your month. You can't
It's not-
proclaim that.
It's not your month either.
Yeah, but like I can't tell them not to do something.
Well, if you can tell them to do something, I'm gonna tell
I'm not
them
telling them to. I'm just
not
telling
to
them
do something.
if they so happen to leave a Kingdom Hearts question, I will answer it. Me.
All right, so leave a Final
will-
Fantasy question.
specific to Final Fantasy.
And Final Fantasy's in Kingdom Hearts, so
And I do have privileges, so I will be checking the comments before we do that
if
episode.
the question
and
doesn't make it
removing
in, you can send it to me directly on Discord, and I will include them in the episode. Thank you.
And
It has
I
to be
will
in the public
access
view. It has
Alex's
to be in the
Discord.
community Discord.
And I will get into Alex's Discord. I have my ways, and I will remove that question as well.
There
So
we go.
don't ask him.
All right.
Just wait till I get my Keyblade, Spencer. You're gonna regret that.
Alex can still announce a Kingdom Heart month. Anything's possible.
Yeah. True. All right, are you guys ready to get to the to the games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to All Map August,
Woohoo.
where we map out games all August. So what does that mean for Game Talk? What's our theme for today? It's not really one. The main theme is mainly, I think last time we did this, it was like games that would be good for a map out. We're kind of playing fast and loose this time because it is Rush Edition, get it? And we're just gonna talk about some games, and maybe they're map worthy, maybe they're not. Maybe we'll decide that at the end of each segment. Going first today will be Spencer.
I always go first.
Do you?
And I think you made the right decision.
Well, I win the wheel first.
Kingdom
So
Hearts?
that's my thing.
Yeah, Ted, you get the wheel first.
Yeah, what's your thing, Alex?
I go last a lot, which
Okay.
includes today, probably.
Continue the trend.
Continue it. Yeah, there are traditions here at the members.
All right. Well, my game isn't necessarily. I mean, it is a game, but it's not one. It's not the original. It is, as you would say, an expansion pack. For the modern day, my game is Shadow of the Erd Tree, the expansion for Elden Ring. Fantastic game that you should definitely play. Shadow of the Erd Tree just continues more of the stuff that happened in Elden Ring, so it continues the open world mixed with the smaller scale areas, depending on where you go. It's interesting because it tackles a question that you might have for just a general game like this of how do you create content for a game where somebody could be anywhere between levels, I'll say reasonably, like 80 to like 700. So how do you scale a game like that? And the way they did it was you can go you as you travel through the world, you find these things called, and I'll say it how it looks like you're supposed to pronounce it, Skadu tree fragments. But really it's old English, it means shadow tree. But you go through these areas and find those, and then it gives you bonuses in the world of the expansion that don't exist in the regular game. So they almost have two different scalings going on. So it's their way of making it different, but also in the same alignment. Now, this game has famously been people complain somewhat that it's very hard. Um, I did have a couple moments in this game that were extremely difficult, but overall, I would say if you're playing the game as it's intended, of you traversing the world and exploring and finding those fragments, I think in general it is very manageable and isn't too difficult. That being said, there are two boss fights that I had a shit ton of problems with, and the last boss fight is definitely the hardest. And I do have some issues with them. I think with these kinds of games, this is a Souls game. With that style, part of the expectation is that it's supposed to feel fair, and I think part of the problem is that some of these bosses don't necessarily feel fair at moments. They don't have obvious hitboxes of necessarily where they're hitting you, so they have effects that are AOE that shoot everywhere, and it's just for certain ones it's a little bit difficult to tell exactly where they're hitting. So I do see the reason for complaints, and I do have a couple issues with that, but overall I think the challenge is fair. Graphically it's beautiful. Without, and I think this goes with the original game as well, I don't know that it really pushes the hardware, but they do such an interesting job with the art style, the gothic horror elements of it, the body horror that happens with it. I think graphically it's very satisfying, whereas it might not be the most intense or high fidelity. It makes up for it with a really good style that I think you can really appreciate. It's very dark, very disgusting at times. Just for someone like me, I don't really love gore, and there's certainly a lot of it. Um, but it's very pretty to look at, so it makes up for it. The exploration is phenomenal. I think I still prefer the original games over it, as if you're going to compare them. Obviously, you can play them side by side and in conjunction, so you don't necessarily have to compare it that way. But I think I do prefer the regular game and its map over this one. But they're still both a blast to play through. The quests are completely cryptic, so if you like NES style, like original Zelda style quests, you'll love it here. You'll have no idea you just missed part of a quest line, or one just ended because of something you did or somebody you killed. It literally will not tell you. So, um, overall, fantastic game. An expansion for a fantastic game. I highly recommend everyone play it. If you combine it with Elden Ring, I think it's probably one of the best games of this generation. If not, will be up there in the best games of all time. Elden Ring.
So I gotta ask a clarifying question. You said it's an expansion, but you also said you could play it side by side. Is it possible to play this without playing Elden Ring?
No, you definitely have to play Elden Ring. The problem is that a lot of people like myself played this game or played Elden Ring in preparation. So by the time this game came out, you were at the point where you could switch over to the expansion, but you can travel right back. You can travel back to the original game and keep playing that if you want. They're just like seamlessly integrated, so you don't need to be playing one and stop playing it to play the other. They're just playable at the same time. But yes, you have to play this game almost to the end before you can play the expansion.
Okay. So where it is an expansion, is the map like half the size of the original or something, or like?
I don't know the official count, but just based on what I played and my experience, I would say the map is probably like a fourth of the original game. And that takes into account that the original map had like a whole underworld as well that you could explore. And this one doesn't have as much of that.
Okay.
So where were you? You finished Elden Ring. So did you just use your first file and transfer it over?
I've beaten Elden Ring now 3 times. The third time was in preparation for this. So I used my most recent game, to play it. And I didn't do everything in the original because I wanted to play some of Elden Ring with like the new weapons and stuff, which I didn't end up using. I was happy with my other weapon. But there are tons of new weapons, so but yeah, I just used a really high level account for it.
Do you appreciate this form of DLC?
Yeah, I think they FromSoft specifically releases really good DLC. Like it's like the only other one I played of theirs, because I did Dark Souls 3 and then this was kind of coming out, so I didn't want to get too much into Dark Souls 3. So I didn't actually play the DLC for it, but I'm sure it's great. But the other one I played was Bloodborne's DLC.
Yeah,
and it
that
was fucking good. Yeah, it was really good. So their DLC is like, it takes a long time to beat, and it's usually harder than the original game. And it offers just a lot more content. Usually they add a lot of items to it, new bosses, new mechanics, stuff. So this DLC is as good, if not better, than most games that come out. It's
say
phenomenal.
FromSoft DLC is almost like most other companies or like studios would take the FromSoft DLC, chop it off, and sell it as a game. Basically, that's so, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute
Elden
nub
Ring.
when it comes to these Souls-like. So both with the first Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I have tried them, but just I did get frustrated with dying early on and feeling like I'm not making significant headway. Is Elden Ring a little more approachable?
100% more approachable. Because with those games, you're very much railroaded, and that was the same problem I had, by the way. Was Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. I tried to play them. People were like, "I'll play it with you and guide you through it." It wasn't the same. It was just like I couldn't figure it out. It was like, why? I'd go to this boss, they destroy me. There's literally like nowhere else to go. I could just grind, but that's kind of boring. Like, I didn't get it. And then I played Elden Ring, and it's like, just go wherever the hell you want to go. And it's this huge map. There's tons of stuff to do. Like, you literally go any direction, you'll find a cave. And then it's like, okay, I like this one in particular. So then you get yourself into it. You die a couple times. You're like, okay, I get it. I'm supposed to do this here. You learn the game a lot better. And by the time I was even out of just the first, like the starting continent, I guess you could say, I get it. Like, I understand how to play now. And it's so addictive and so much fun. And now the challenge becomes less of like, I'm wasting my time. It became, I'm like learning the game and I'm mastering something. And it was game changing. From then I could play all the Souls games. And then I went back and played them. And they just made a lot more sense. But this game is the best way to get into the Souls series. It's so good.
Yeah, that's part of like I haven't played Elden Ring yet, but that's part of why I haven't, because it's just because of where it is so big and open. Because my first, I mean, I've played all of them up to this point, even Sekiro, if you want to count that as part of it. But I started with Bloodborne, so I started with like the more linear style. So like, yeah, I'll be honest. Part of the reason why I haven't bought it, played it yet, is as I'm a little overwhelmed by the idea of an open world Souls-like game. But I'm sure it's phenomenal though. Like that's all I hear about it, and like one of these days I will get around to it.
What's cool about it is it has a lot of traditional Dark Souls moments in it. Like, there is the open world, and then you'll go to a castle, and then it plays like Dark Souls from there, and then you'll kill the boss there, and then you leave, and it's back to the open world, and then you find a dungeon that's very Dark Soulsy. So I love the combination of the two, and when it's weird because like this game, Elden Ring, I'm just talking Elden Ring in general at this point, but Elden Ring is one of the very first games in a long time where I was like, oh, they promised something in a game and then they delivered it. Like that is just so rare in a game these days because you always just feel like you're playing the game that they wanted you to play when you play it, and it's like, oh, I'm playing like this open world game. Cool, but it's like, but here's a quest log, and make sure that you do all the things on the quest log, and then you got who do you want to talk to? The guy that's on the map. Like, go to the guy on the map. Go to him, and it's like, okay. This game was like, we're promising you an open world. We're not going to tell you anything, and it has Dark Souls elements, and you can upgrade your weapons, and it's really hard. And 100% that's what it is. It doesn't pretend to be anything else. There's very little cutscenes in the game, and the ones that are 30 seconds long at that, if they are that long, and it's just the guy going, "I'm gonna kill you." That's it.
Yeah, it's insane that the Soul series in general is as big as it is because it is like it's the most video game of all time to me,
Yeah.
and the fact that that's so popular speaks volumes, I guess.
Mhm. It kind of feels like if the people that made Castlevania way back in the day, like if they could continue to make games like at the
Yeah,
same rate and stuff, they would make this. Like this is what they would do. Is this Bloodborne, Dark Souls? That's what they would have
I
made.
always thought Bloodborne was just like modern Castlevania, basically.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what when I was playing Castlevania, like Symphony of the Night for my channel, I was literally like, "Oh my god, this is Bloodborne! Like this is Bloodborne!" But like, and ironically, they've made 3D Castlevanias that I'm sure are not
Not good.
quite at that level. But yeah, like it was just so incredible that they were able to translate that. So very cool. Should we map it out? Probably not. It's very long, so it would be hard.
Can you map it out? Can
It
you
would make
map
for a
that
good
out?
map. It would make for a great map, but it's just too long. It's like
Yeah.
I think if you combine this with the expansion, it's probably, if you're pretty brisk, it's like 70 hours.
Yeah, I say
Maybe
we
80?
probably have better luck doing like Breath of the Wild before that.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
hey, you know what? If the situation warrants it, I mean, if the Elden Ring review gets like 10,000 views, we don't have a 10,000 view video, so
Hear that? Souls month.
watch the video 10,000 times.
That'd be wild.
Spencer, I said Souls month, and you look like you just like unbuckled your belt from a big meal, you know. Ooh.
He's getting pumped.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. What was the name again? Elden Ring, the World's Woe, and the Blight Below, or something. What was it?
Yeah, that was it. You got it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. It's in the title of this video. All right.
That game's also really
Moving-
good, by the way.
Moving on to Teddy.
Spencer, you can pull up footage for Hot Shot Golf on the PlayStation.
PlayStation 1.
Hell yeah.
1?
Yeah, PlayStation 1. It's the only Hot Shots Golf by Camelot, but I'll talk about that.
All right, you're good.
All right.
I have the worst trailer up for it as possible.
Nice.
PS1 game, so yeah, I can imagine it's very good. Good trailer.
Everybody's golf. That's not how the theme song goes, but it would be cool. I'm going to talk about Everybody's Golf, known to us here in the States as Hot Shots Golf. If you know me, you know I'm a Mario golfer. I got a bit of history with the series, and Everybody's Golf, also Hot Shots Golf, was developed by Camelot, the guy's responsible for every Mario Golf, just about, that I could see. And before they made Mario Golf, they made Hot Shots Golf for the PlayStation 1 in 1997. Actually, a manual here. And Spencer has the trailer up. These really state-of-the-art polygon characters. Gotta love PlayStation 1 graphics. But you're not here for the graphics, folks. You're here for the gameplay. This is your classic arcadey style golf, and in honor of All Map August, this game does have a couple courses that you could play through, but you actually have to unlock them. The game starts you off with barely anything. You get 2 characters in the entry course, but you actually have an XP system, which is really cool. So by either winning tournaments or versus plays or getting birdies, you can actually increase your XP counter, and that's how you unlock future courses. Full disclosure, up to the point of recording this, I had only dabbled, so I had played a full tournament mode, a full match play, and they also have a mini golf challenge, which I had some fun with. This is slightly more antiquated than your father's favorite Mario Golf game, Toadstool Tour. My father, him and I played that a lot back in the day, and I know I met up with Alex lately, and we had some Mario Golf Toadstool Tour talk as well. And I don't think that, as their first game, understandably, it's a little bit less forgiving than some of these Mario Golf games are. So I'll explain this as best I can, but the way that it works in the game is there's basically 2 controls. There's the driving, where you hit the driver and you get it to the green, which is where the pin is, and then you putt. So it's driving and putting. So each one has separate mechanics. But they both use this power gauge on the bottom of the screen, and you basically wind up your swing, and when it hits the power level that you want is when you stop it the first time, and you stop it a second time when it gets back to the origin point, and you want it to be as close to the middle as possible, if not directly on, by the time of that second button press. And that's where it gets complicated, because I feel like Mario Golf has been more forgiving with that if you don't hit it dead on. In fact, they actually have an automatic selector on Mario Golf, which basically determines kind of where it hits. And I think the timing's a little slower. And this one is faster, and depending on the club you use, the range is not so great. So even if you're off by just like a fraction of the red sliver, it'll mess up your shot so bad. So the first 18 that I played on a tournament mode, it was full of double bogeys, pars, and a couple birdies. I did get 1 or 2. But what was happening was I wasn't hitting the center part dead on, and just that slight movement would push my ball into the rough every time. And the second that you get off the fairway and into the rough grass, it makes your shot so much harder to hit. So I had a miserable time in that first game, but I did get the hang of it by the second game. The main female character, I don't have her name up, but she is the most accessible as far as your shooting. And by the second time I played, I was hitting a bunch of birdies. The putting is a little rough to look at. You can't really tell what the range of the green is. You can kind of see if it's at an angle, but not really. Not in the same way that you can in future Mario Golf games. But it is an early example, and I was able to get some birdies. I could read the green at times. I just like how the systems are very much intact. They have all the major clubs that you need, from the woods, irons, wedge, and putter. And if you know Mario Golf, you know what you're getting into with Hot Shots Golf. It is a bit simple, but it's fun. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all the different modes. I appreciate this XP system and unlockables in general. I think this is the type of game that could give you a lot for your money, especially what I paid for it. I think I paid like $10 for it at a retro game store. And, you're paying a retro game store tax. So if you want to collect PS1 games, this one's for everybody. Everybody's golf. Hot Shots.
Nice. Yeah, the Hot Shots / Everybody's Golf series always felt like arcade golf, but for a little more of a niche audience than Mario Golf. I didn't feel like it was like meant for everybody, like Mario Golf. I don't. But I did play a lot of not this one, but I played a lot of Hot Shot Golf 2 on the PlayStation 2. And then I've dabbled in some other ones, and then I played a lot of the PS4, Everybody's Golf and stuff. Which I think by that point Camelot was out in those games, and it was Clap Hands. And I've ironically enough followed them, and they've done more golf games recently that have been pretty damn good. But yeah, I've always been curious about playing the PS1 game. It is available on PS5 and PS4, by the way. So if anyone wants to play it that way. Um, I just I don't know. I really love that N64 Mario Golf. That was my game growing up, and I've always and where I started with Hot Shots Golf 2, I always thought maybe if I went back to Hot Shots Golf 1, I wouldn't like it because it was on like PS1, if that makes sense. Like going backwards. But sounds cool though. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I understand the concern because like you are going back to the origin point, and again, it is really simple. Like you know how Mario Golf kind of has charming music and characters. Like the characters in this, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. They're fugly. They're not. They're fucking ugly. You know, they do not look good. You know, but the courses look fine, and they play fine, and I think the little variety there is cool. Like a mini golf challenge, that's kind of nice. I like all the different modes. The tournament mode, that's pretty cool. There is a huge roster, so like I'm curious. Like if you do versus play, you can unlock characters, but if you do tournament mode, you can get a bunch of XP by winning. And then I think you could play against a friend too, so that's kind of fun. It's not as robust as the future games, but again, if you kind of just want some extra like of that golfing style, like this, I think this has you covered. I think you would have fun playing it as somebody who likes Mario Golf.
Okay. Oh, sorry, it wasn't 2. It was 3 that was on PS2. That's the one I played. I was looking it up. Do you know if there's any fun characters unlockable in this one? Because they do that in the later games. Like I know 4 had like Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, and I think one of them had like 2 had Gex and Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal and stuff. Do you know if there's anything fun in this one?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, when it comes, because this is the only Camelot Everybody's Golf, so I don't know.
That makes sense.
If you'd have that same thing that you are seeing in Everybody's Golf games. But
I'm looking at 2. 2 started with Clap Hands, and then that's where it says I think the cameo started there because I had Gex and Sweet Tooth and Sir Daniel Fortescue from Medieval. But that's cool. I mean, I love Camelot. I have to choose. I'm trying to decide which studio I like more, Camelot or Clap Hands, like in terms of their golf games. Because the Mario Golf games, I really like recently recently being like 2 years ago, that like Switch one came out, the Star Rush or whatever it was called. And I didn't really like it that much. But then Clap Hands released the worst golf name I've ever heard. It's Easy Come Easy Golf. Terrible name. But they released it, and like it was an Apple Arcade game. Then it got ported to Switch, and it's like half the. It's you know what? It's like a quarter of the price of that Mario Golf game. It's like $20, and it's like way better than the fucking Mario Golf game. So. That's interesting. They're both competing on the same platform now. Both golf games.
Yeah, and fighting for worst golf game is not necessarily good because the track record. We started really strong,
Oops.
When I'm looking at it shows the CD or the game cover at the end of this trailer, and it looks. No, it's like everybody. It's like a picture of the cast.
Oh, the
Everybody-
disc
they all
looks like a golf ball.
Oh, I just mean like the game case thing,
Okay.
or what I assume is the game case, but that just whatever's at the end of the trailer, I guess. And the characters look like they're from because I know it's Camelot, and it looks exactly like uh, that RPG on the Game Boy Advance.
Golden Sun.
Oh, Golden Sun.
Golden Sun, yeah. They all
Yeah, there's characters like that in the first Mario Golf as well. There's like
Mm.
derpy looking anime people. So
Gotcha.
The golf
hey,
ball.
it's a golf ball. Do you
What's
think
the best non Mario golf game?
probably that?
Oh, I like Golf Story. That was fun. I didn't finish it, but I got a good
yeah,
bit of time out of that.
That one was good.
I played a bunch because I played some on the NES, and then I played this other one on Switch. There's one that Playtonic Games did, the ukulele guys, which was fun for a bit, but it gets way too hard. And there's
Neo
like an
Turf
indie
Masters
golf
for the
game
Neo
craze.
Geo.
What's that?
I said sorry, Neo Turf Masters for the Neo Geo. That's my choice.
There you go. There's like an indie golf game craze right now. Like, I don't even know what. I haven't played any of them, but it's like zombie golf or like like all these crazy golf games. So I haven't really dabbled.
Dude,
with
I have.
too many, but as far as the indie scene
I'm pretty
goes,
sure
Golf
I
Story
had.
is great.
I'm pretty sure I have like fucking 3 of them in my Steam account, and I've got them in like bundles. Yeah, I do. I got my Steam account pulled up here on my phone. I have Golf Club Wasteland, Golf Gang, Science Station, and Golf It. So yeah, there's a big golf thing going on right now.
What's your best, Alex? Everybody's
Like modern.
any.
Yeah, everybody's golf on PS4. I really like that game. And just recently, like I said, the Easy Come Easy Golf was great. That one has an interesting mechanic. They let you choose. You can still do the classic like swing mechanic where you have to use the meter. But they actually do something interesting where you can actually use the right stick to swing your golf club to like a place. So it's like you go like a push down to swing back, and then you have to hit straight up, and you can't hit to the sides, or you're gonna fuck up your swing. So you have to really get the precision in with the stick. It's really interesting. And when I first started playing that game, I didn't think I was gonna like that, and then I turned out I like that more than the meter. So that was really cool. So that's probably been my favorite golf game recently. Is Easy Golf on the Switch.
That's
Terrible
like that you brought that up because I think one thing that hurts this a little bit is that it can feel a little imprecise. Not terribly. I do feel in control sometimes. Like if I can hit the sliver. Actually, one of my biggest tips if you're watching is to press before you see. So you press the button before you see it line up with where you're trying to hit because the bar moves so fast. Actually, the thing that threw me off, you know how you can see the bar move? You can see the bar move, but you can't see where you stop it, which is very bizarre. Like it's a yellow bar. So like when I was pressing, I was like, huh? And like I was not hitting the ball. I had to keep doing mulligans in practice. But yeah, so this one it's antiquated, but you get the hang of it after a game or two of messing up.
All right.
Fun for everyone.
Cool. Yeah. PS1 classic, dude. Is it better than Final Fantasy VII? We all know the answer to that. It's yes.
Stay tuned for Final Fantasy month coming soon to a button mapper near you.
Godshots Golf versus Final Fantasy VII.
He's the unlockable, yeah. Is there a way we can do a golf game for Game Talk?
Ooh, there we go. I would love to see Cloud like as a character, but like he uses the Buster Sword as the club.
Hmm.
There you go. Swings the Buster Sword.
Well,
All
Alex.
right, ready to move on? All right. Before I get to the game I'm actually talking about, I just wanted to tell the audience at home, because I know people might be expecting it. I can't do it. I am aware that Earth Defense Force 6 came out. I have it. It actually just downloaded, and I haven't played it yet. So I can't talk about that. I'm sorry. But just because people are going to be like, "Why are you talking about Earth Defense Force?" Because that's what I always do in my life. So instead, I'm going to talk about something else. Spencer, I got a bit of trivia for you, a little question. What is a revolutionary game series that has dragon in the title and it started on the NES? You love it.
Well,
It's
I
one
know
of your
you're
favorites.
trying to get me to say.
It's one of your
but I don't want
favorites,
to say
Spencer.
it. I don't want to say it though.
What is
'Cause
it?
no, it's gotta be a
Come
different one.
on. Come on,
Trying to
Spencer.
think of what other ones might have had it. Double Dragon.
Yes, it is. It is Double Dragon. I played Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of the Dragons, which came out a year ago, July of last year. I'm just now getting around to playing it. Um, and we're gonna talk about this game and also some history and also why I think this game's very interesting as a fan of the beat 'em up genre. So Double Dragon's been around for a long time. Started back in the 80s. I want to say it was like 87. I don't remember the guy's name. The guy that created Double Dragon also created Kunio-kun, aka River City. And those two series kind of coexist together. They were both published by Technos. And River City slash Kunio-kun was more popular in Japan, and Double Dragon was more made for a Western audience. And Technos really lacked the ability to hold themselves back from pumping out shit because they really licensed out the Double Dragon name to anybody. It didn't get the same love as the Kunio Kun series. Um, so they really anybody that wanted to make a Double Dragon game back in the day really got the chance to do it, which caused the legacy of the series to have a shaky ground because there's some really good games and there's some really bad games. And then it kind of went silent for a bit, and then back in 2015, after the Double Dragon and Kunio-kun kind of got passed around for a little bit. Back in 2015, Arc System Works bought up the rights to both series, so now they're both in good hands. And I talked previously, meaning 2019, about River City Girls, which was also published by Arc System Works. Great beat 'em up. And they also did Double Dragon 4, which was like a throwback one that like looked like an NES game. But this is really the first new like Double Dragon game since like I think with Double Dragon Neon in like 2010 or 11. This is the first like attempt at a fresh new take on the series, and I really liked this title. Double Dragon Gaiden does something that I think is interesting. There's been a lot of little beat 'em ups cropping up lately. I think of like that TMNT one we played, the Shredder's Revenge. I think of like Streets of Rage 4. Even like the Scott Pilgrim one got a re-release. And those mainly aim to like bring back beat 'em ups and like be like retro style throwbacks. This game feels like it's a little more because this game has a lot going on. This game tries to take the formula of an old school beat 'em up and really give it some new life, some like freshness. It implements ideas from newer games into it, and I'll get into that in a second. Um, and it just feels like there's a lot of love and attention going into this one. And I'm also scared because at the time of recording this, I think like 2 days ago or like 2 weeks ago they just announced another Double Dragon game like revival, and it's like a 3D one. So I was hoping they were going to stick with this, and apparently they're not. Double Dragon Gaiden sees Billy and Jimmy Lee in a post-apocalyptic New York. The mayor, the newly appointed mayor, comes to them and asks them for help. He needs help taking out 4 gang territories so that he can do his job. And so from there, that's basically the game. You have 4 gang territories that are under control by different gangs, and you need to pick your characters. You can play as up to 15 different characters. They all play very differently. And this is where this game gets very unique because the game is somewhat of a roguelike. So the way the game works is it kind of works Mega Man style, where you have a map and you get to choose which of the 4 territories you want to tackle first. But there's a trade-off. So your first round in one of the territories will just be one straightforward level and a boss fight. It's going to be pretty easy. But the problem is, once you take out that first territory, the other 3 territories hunker down. The levels get longer, the boss fights get harder. So by the time you get to the 4th territory, you're battling through a gauntlet of a level, and you're fighting a really hard boss. So it becomes which of the territories you want to fight last, which one is gonna be easier to fight last, which one which boss do you want to get out like fight first before it gets too powerful, and it adds a lot of replayability because that means on one playthrough of the game you're not going to see the entire game because the levels extend in length each time you go around. So you really want to, try different routes each time you play, which is very cool for a beat 'em up. Also, that's not the only roguelike element in the game. There are no traditional lives in this game. Thank God they got rid of that. There's a money system. So whenever you're fighting, the only drops you can really get just from like breaking open stuff is money. Money can be traded in between levels for stat boosts for your characters. So it could be like health boost or like maybe more offense or like better defense, whatever it is. There's different ones for like different situations. Maybe if one character's down, I haven't talked about the tag mechanic yet, but if one character's down, the other character gets more health. Who knows? So that's really cool. It kind of, you want to spend your money correctly. Also, if you do die, you can spend money to revive yourself. Um, and that's very roguelike. And there's also a lot of fighting game elements. This game is a game where you play as two characters at once. You like tag team like back and forth between them. So like my first run, I just chose Billy and Jimmy just to try the game out, and they both played very differently. And there's actually a bit of like Marvel versus Capcom going into the fighting style in this game because you can set up combos and then switch to the other character and like do like tag out mechanics and stuff and like extend your combos. And it makes you think a little more about the action instead of just button mashing, which is very cool. Also, you can't get health pickups from just breaking like trash cans and stuff, like you can in like other beat 'em ups. The health system works that like you have to do some crowd control. So like if you are able to knock out three or more enemies at once, you're rewarded with a health drop. So it really makes you play with some technique because you want to be able to knock out three or four or five enemies to get more health drops to keep yourself alive during the game. It's very rewarding. It kind of reminds me of that newer Doom game where you have to like do finishers to get health and stuff. So like if you're playing like a regular beat 'em up and killing one goon at a time, you're not going to get any health and you're going to die. So good luck with that. Very unique. There are multiple endings, and the money system is also cool because at the end of each run, your cash that you've earned throughout the run is cashed out for tokens. So it's like every 1,000 coins you earned is worth one token, and those tokens can be used to unlock more characters. And there's also some like art, music, and like some hints and stuff. But mainly the characters are the focus. So it's really fun to be able to play a game where like the progression is based on unlocks, which is something that hasn't happened in a long time for me. I used to like whenever games did that. They didn't have the whole game ready for you. You get to actually, grind to like unlock some stuff. And like I said, all the characters play very differently. No two characters feel the same, which is also pretty unique for a beat 'em up like this with a roster of 15 characters. That's a lot. So doing, each run you play as two different characters at the same time. You have a good combination of characters you could choose between, and they all play very differently. There's a lot to experience in Double Dragon Gaiden, and it's not perfect. I think some of the level gimmicks can be a little annoying. There's one in this level where you're going through like a pyramid, and there's like a spotlight on you, and you can't see the enemies around you as you move around. There's some gimmicks like that throughout some of the stages. Mostly they're all pretty fine, but like there's a few that got on my nerves. But there's a lot here to like, and I would really like to see them expand upon it in a sequel to this title, because I think it's very well done, and it could appeal to beat 'em ups and to a lot of people that like roguelikes and maybe even some fighting game fans. It's very cool.
So I'm reading
I'm not
here.
sure if you
It
mentioned it,
looks
but-
like that while Arc System Works had to greenlit the project, it was actually developed by a smaller team known as Secret Base. And
Yeah. So
the future
Sorry, go
of the
ahead.
Revive game that you're talking about is going to be Arc System Works. So I mean, if they were to do something in this style, they'd probably have to get Secret Base back to do it.
Yeah, and they like to hand out the IP a lot, like just like the River City Girls game. There's two of those now, and those are way forward. So I can see them getting them back to do Gaiden. They probably labeled it Gaiden, so it is like its own sub series, But it was just confusing because this just came out like a year ago. Then it was like, here's another Double Dragon that looks completely different, you know.
Right.
So whereas the right now the Kunio Kun series is just the River City Girl stuff right now. So, which you know what, River City Girls 1 and 2 have a lot of stuff from Double Dragon in them, like characters. And I was kind of confused that there's nothing from Kunio Kun appears in this game. I was kind of hoping to unlock like Kunio himself or something. But, um,
I don't know if you mentioned it, but this game is. I know it says tag team, but it's single player only.
no, it's got
Oh,
co-op.
you can play cooperative.
Yeah,
This is
but you don't
online.
tag. No, there is online. They added online later on.
Oh,
So
they added
when it
that,
first
okay.
came out, there was yeah. So when it first came out, there was no online, but you could do local co-op. But you still played as teams of two, so you're playing as 4 characters altogether on local.
Oh, okay,
co-op.
I was asking about that. Okay. That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
But then later on, they did add, and I counted this in with the total characters. They did add a free update later on that had online mode, 2 more modes, which is like versus and survival, and 3 new characters. So they did add that in later on, which is fun for me because I hadn't played it till this point, so I get to experience that all as the full package instead of having to go back and experience it.
Mm.
Do you, I couldn't fathom playing one of these by myself. Granted, the tag team element does make it a little more interesting, but do you think it would get a little chaotic having 4 characters?
Probably. I've only played this by myself and I had a blast, but I think it's because again, they don't treat the combat like a normal fighting game. They treat it so sorry, like a normal beat 'em up. They treat it more akin to a fighting game where it's all about combos and mix-ups. So you have like the the control layout's pretty simple. The A button jumps, the whatever the hell it is, the X button I think does your punches or like or one of the characters does. Some characters don't even punch. The girl, like I forgot her name, I think it's Marion, the girl that gets kidnapped in all the fucking Double Dragon games. She's a cop, so she has guns. So she doesn't even punch anybody. She shoots guns. And then your Y button up top does your special moves, and then your B button either like evades or grabs what other character does. So it really adds a lot of depth to the combat. So honestly, I played by myself, but I had a fucking blast playing the game because it never, I have that issue in some beat 'em ups where you're playing by yourself and it feels like you get ganged up on. No, it's kind of hard for characters to do that in this game because you have so much to like in your tool set that you can, use. Cool.
I love the graphics, and I've always been more excited about these kinds of games when they start offering RPG mechanics, because just to beat 'em up to me is a little boring. But as soon as you put numbers and stats in it, I'm like, I perk up because I do like playing beat 'em ups. Like I like the side scrolling up and down action of it. But nowadays as I've gotten older, it's just like I don't level up. Like, what's the point? And then
Have you played the River City games? The Kunio Kun
no,
games?
I've always wanted to though. I heard they're really good.
That would be up your alley because those are. I mean, if you play like I guess don't play the NES ones because they're too antiquated now. Play like the River City Girls games.
I like River City Ransom. I was a fan
Oh,
of it.
okay. Yeah, I would say those are like straight up RPGs, basically, like beat 'em up RPGs.
Yeah, that's what I was confused. Like I would play River City Ransom, I'd have a great time, and then it's like people be like, play some of these other ones. It's like, why? You don't level up. Like, what's the point? Once you have a game where you level up, why would you go to not leveling up?
But it's roguelike? What makes it roguelike?
The progression of the levels, but between each level, you get the chance to have different attributes you can buy. Which they always change. They're never the same ones.
Okay.
So each time it's like, okay, this time I got to draw, and I can, there's one I can buy that, if my partner dies, I gain max melee combat, whatever. Or or this one that's like, I get more health the more SP I use. Whatever it is. So that's a roguelike, and the progression element itself is roguelike, and the fact that it's built to the game's meant to be played multiple times. It's meant to do multiple runs. It's not just a one and done game.
Okay. But it's not like die and lose all your progress.
No. The only way you lose all your progress is if you had no money, because you have to pay to revive yourself. Which also is cool because also if you're having a bad run and you just want to keep the money you've made so far on that run, you can delete the game, your file, and cash out. And just take the tokens and go unlock stuff. So if you're playing and you don't like the two characters you picked and you're like, fuck this, I'm gonna start over, just cash out, take the money you made, and start over. So kind of neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like neat, a lot of cool ideas for a beat 'em up, and I saw mixed reviews on this thing. I don't think Wikipedia does it justice. I wanted to see some like video reviews, and like some of them, like IGN, they were like, oh, it's too old school. Other beat 'em ups have been way better recently. Blah 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 blah. And then like I've seen other ones that are like, this is like one of the best fucking beat 'em ups I've ever played in my life. So like, yeah, it's.
Where do
I
you
was
stand?
like, man, I don't think it's one of the best beat 'em ups I've ever played in my life. It's really good. I really like a lot of the stuff it's implementing. I think it needs a little more polish to like flesh all that out, but I really like it. Like I don't know if I liked it more than River City Girls, but I really like this game though. So I definitely say it's like if I had it on a scale of like 1 to 10, I would say it's an 8. It's definitely an 8. It's a good game, but not the best beat 'em up ever. So, yeah, Double Dragon. There they are.
Double the
And
dragon.
Jimmy.
Double the.
Uh, I do want to add that so back in the day, the guy that made Double Dragon, he was busy with some of the Kunio Kun stuff, so they handed over the development of Double Dragon 3 to a studio that never made a beat 'em up before. And they introduced a third character named Sunny, who's like a long lost brother of theirs, Sunny Lee. And they never used that character again until this game. He was in the free update, and they in the when you buy him in the store with the tokens, it says long lost cousin Sunny Lee has joined the game, and he's like a super lazy kung fu master. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. They were like poking fun at the fact that like some shitty company designed Double Dragon 3 arcade, and it was a mess. It's like that's funny. So I like that. So here's to more Double Dragon. Hopefully, Gaiden gets a second one. I hope that new one's good. I mean, it looks cool. Thank you, Arc System Works. River City Girls 2 was amazing. I love
You love them. I like that.
it. Oh,
It's a good way to end it. I
yeah.
love you.
I love you. I love you, Arc System Works. Thank you.
End it with love.
Thank you for saving this series.
Thank you to Secret Base and what's his name? Richard Teo?
Yeah, Richard Teo's the director and producer of this. Raymond Teo. I have no clue what he's done. He's not the guy behind Double Dragon. I'll tell you the guy's name if I can find.
Yeah, Raymond Teo, who became acquainted with Arc System Works during the development of Secret Base's previous game, Devil's Dare, as Arc System Works had sought to publish the game in Japan. After the release of Double Dragon 4 in 2017, Secret Base sent a proposal to Arc System Works for a new Double Dragon entry with a visual mock-up of the game's art style. Discussions continued until the project was greenlit in late 2019. There you go.
Wasn't there a Double Dragon movie?
Yeah, it's bad. Dude, that's what I was talking about with Technosoft having no fucking clue what to do, because they had that movie and they also had a cartoon show, and they couldn't just leave it at that because there is a fighting game on the Neo Geo just called Double Dragon that's based off of that fucking movie, and then there's another fighting game, Double Dragon 5, that's based off of the cartoon show. And it's like, guys, what are you doing? Like, that's your main series right there. And you're just like, oh, the fifth one's a fighting game based off a cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, whatever. There was no restraint. And then Technosoft died. So cool. It is mappable. Yeah, we didn't do that. Yes, it is map worthy. talking about the different territories and how they change each run.
Okay.
Pretty neat.
It's a map out.
It's a map out, guys.
There we go. Map out.
It's a map out. Well, I am gonna go play Earth Defense Force 6 because it's been downloading the entire time we've been recording this episode. Because I hadn't had a chance to buy it till today. So it is downloaded. So sorry.
All right.
I'll be shooting bugs.
Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, get ready for All Map August. Get ready for Final Fantasy September. Get ready for Alex or Spencer October.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we choose. I think Spencer. I was talking to Spencer the other day. We were having a conversation on the phone. He called me up. He was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I was like, "No, not much, man." He was like, "Let me sell something past you." I was like, "All right."
Let me
He
spit
said,
something to you.
Yeah. He said, "Okay, I have some big plans for my next month." He said, "What if?" And get this. He said, "What if Frogger month?" He said, "What if I do Frogger month?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Spencer, you better hop to it."
Yeah. Well. No ribbon? No ribbit?
Can you make a ribbit pun?
No.
All right.
Well, don't force it. Just ribbit.
Yeah. It's like a band-aid.
We
Rib
still
it
don't have
off.
an outro right now. Can you put up a frog?
We don't know by the time this goes up. Maybe we will.
Oh, okay. That's true. We might have one by that point. Can you still put up a frog just for the? Thank you, Spencer.
You're really making me work for it these days, huh?
Come on, man, put up the frog. Everyone at home wants the frog. Like a realistic frog, not Frogger.
I'm doing
Why
it.
not?
I'm doing it.
Mapsman want Frogger.
Well, they had to wait till Frogger month.
I put a frog up.
Frogtober. You know, Frogtober is actually possible because there's like an uptick in frog games right now.
Mm-hmm.
Frogs.
Well, to counter that, we have no Frogvember.
Yeah. No frogs.
Frogtober. No frog. Anybody mentions the fucking frog in November, they're off the show.
Don't even think about
You're out.
talking
Don't
about
even
frogs.
think
Don't
about
even
frogs.
Think about it. Nope.
Frog comments banned.
I feel a little froggy today. Out.
No, sorry. The button members are bullshit. They've outlawed the frogs. Sorry, Terry.
You knew the rules, Terry. You knew the rules.
So there is a frog on the screen.
Okay. Is there a frog in your throat?
No.
Is that what they say? Like, you can't talk to a frog in your throat.
Yeah, I don't know why they say that.
Yeah. Who got a frog in their throat?
It's like, yeah.
I mean, unless you're like eating a frog. I mean, I'm pretty sure
fair.
if you had a frog in your throat, you'd be like
A whole frog, yeah.
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 Maybe a baby frog's okay.
Do you have a frog in your throat?
You're saying it's like a dead body.
It's going down.
It's blue in the face.
I know CPR.
Like a real like Joker thing to say to somebody. Cat got your
Karen,
tongue. Yeah.
you got a frog in your throat, Batman.
What's the matter?
Yeah, it would
Frog
be
in the
either,
throat.
it would be either a very villainous thing to say or a very housewife thing to say. But it's like both equally off, like likely. You got a frog in your throat.
both between the Joker and Batman.
Yeah.
Only it's Joker as a housewife.
What's the matter, Batman? You got a frog in your throat?
Oh, don't worry, Batman. I got the perfect cure for that.
He like shoots his little gun and little like hammer bonks him, like bonks him on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like a rubber mallet. All right, how do we end this, guys?
I think you just did.
Cool.
I stopped recording.